Next this afternoon, I can remember when we were younger, running through the bracken and going on long woodland walks with my family. Now, I remember probably being about 9 or 10, coming back from one walk, and my sister had a tick attached to her. Now, my grandparents' dogs would often have them, and Grumps would tweeze them off with some TCP as well. But when my sister got one, it was a trip down to the doctors. But would you know what to do if you had a tick on you? This is exactly what happened to my next guest, Jordon Craddock. Jordon flicked a tick off her hand and it's left her with a devastating disease. Well, Jordon sat down and spoke with BBC Radio Leicester's Rob Watson.
So in January 2017, I did a forest walk with my middle child. We spent the afternoon in a woodland area, building fairy swings, playing hide and seek, making dens, just having a bit of a laugh and a joke. I noticed something on my hand. So after it wouldn't come off, I kind of like twisted it off my hand. And then 3 days later, I had a rash, like a little ring on my hand. So I went to the doctors. The doctor said that I had Lyme disease. They put me on antibiotics, which made me really, really poorly, made me really very sick. I couldn't keep water down, couldn't keep Calpol down. So they advised me to stop taking the antibiotics. At which I think within a couple of weeks I deteriorated and ended up collapsing at home. They put me in quarantine at hospital, into intensive care. I spent a couple of weeks there. They gave me antibiotics in an IV, gave me pain relief, and then sent me home.
What's that like when the doctor tells you what you've got?
To be fair, I just took it as, right, okay, it's a bit of like a virus, because I didn't know what Lyme disease was then. And on the actual NHS website, it doesn't give you a great information of what it is. It just basically says, if you get medicine, you'll be okay. But I think there's a bigger picture to you won't be okay if you're not treated.
Did you go out for forest walks and take the kids out?
No, we're not outdoorsy. We're not an outdoorsy family. We pretty much play board games. That's what we like to do. We have a laugh, we have a joke. We play inside, not outside. So we don't go to the woods. We don't do anything like that. So that's why I think I did say, I'll do that with you this time when we got invited to do it with him.
I guess kind of looking down at your hand and seeing something that you've never seen before.
Yeah, no, that's not good, because I didn't know what it looked like. And I think because they can be different colours, they can be different sizes, it's quite hard to know what you've got on you. But my natural instinct was get it off. And I think because I twisted it, that's when you break its guts, and that's when they go into your blood, which wasn't a good idea. You're supposed to get them took off by tweezers or go to the doctors and they'll take them off properly, whereas I didn't know what it was in the first place.
I wouldn't know. I have to say, it's not. I don't think it's.
Well, we don't have pets. I've never had a dog in my life. My mum and dad never had pets. We've got fish, but they don't get ticks. Whereas most people, if they've got a dog, they're aware of ticks because of their dogs and fleas and stuff like that. But I don't think anyone puts it towards as a human can get it and be as seriously poorly as what a dog can be.
So when you think about kind of something that was that small and the impact it's had since, how does that make you feel?
It's scary, to be honest. It's scary knowing something miniature can ruin your whole insides, go into every organ, your blood, everything. It's inside your whole body, and there's no way of getting it out. Just getting it out of your body.
So you were diagnosed quite quickly.
Yes.
3 days. And then, so you must be kind of thinking then, well, I'm on top of it at least.
Yes.
You know? And then the antibiotics don't work.
Yeah. No, that wasn't. I spent, I think, a good 4 weeks just on my sofa in a duvet because I couldn't get warm. I was freezing. I was like ice constantly, but I had no energy to get off the sofa and do anything. I think I was like just walking around a bit of a zombie, which is when I just got really bad. I think every symptom I was experiencing kind of blew up. Like, it was the headaches that did it for me. It's like migraines. I couldn't lift my head up off a pillow. That's how bad they were. And obviously then they were making me sick. I had the flu. I just generally wasn't doing great. And then I kept feeling dizzy and sick, and that's when I fainted. Went into the doctors and they said, go straight to A&E. I was in A&E for quite a while, and then I think as soon as they realised how serious I was, it was quick, get her in here, do this, do that. Whereas before I was just sitting in A&E, waiting around. I think I was there for about 4 to 6 hours, just waiting for them to say, oh, we think it's this or we think it's that. But they didn't actually tell me anything. They just put me in quarantine, put me full of loads of stuff. And I think it was like a few days later that I heard from a porter that I was being treated for meningitis. Lyme disease can cause meningitis, which I didn't know either. So then I did get panicked and got scared because I didn't know what was happening. They weren't talking to me, which didn't help. I think my parents were away at the time as well. They were in Spain for 12 odd weeks or something. So it was quite hard. I felt alone. I felt like no one knew what was happening to me. They couldn't figure out what to do with me, which isn't easy to be in the middle of it, because I think they're all like discussing me as such, but they can't help me.
Tell me about this treatment abroad then. So this is in Turkey, isn't it?
Yes.
So how does this differ to the treatment that you would get in the UK?
The UK, I think the standard, it's called like the Nice guidelines. Standard is you get 2 lots of antibiotics and you'll be okay. Whereas there's a lot of research elsewhere that says 2 doses of antibiotics doesn't necessarily cure you, doesn't help you. There's a lot of arguments. Some countries will say longer antibiotics will help you, and then other places say antibiotics don't help you at all, it's too late, it's feeding like whatever's going on in your body, which doesn't help. Whereas Turkey, they put you through a freezer box which freezes your whole body. It's supposed to freeze the parasites. They don't put your head in, but they freeze the whole body to let him, like, draws them out. They also put you in a sauna as well, so it's like both. They
so
heat
it's like
you
extreme
up.
temperatures.
Yeah, it's both ways. They make you really, really cold and they make you really, really hot. But they do stem cell treatment, which is really expensive in itself anyway. And I don't think you'd get offered it on the NHS because it's not proved. There's nothing to say it works. I think that's a lot of it. There's nothing to say it will help, which is a hard one.
But you seem quite determined to do something.
I do. I think I met a lady and she's had it for 24 years, which it's like, wow, I don't want to go that far. If I can do something now, I will try and do it now instead of being pushed to the side and being left at home, not being able to cope, which isn't fair.
You'll hear more from Jordon about the effect it's had on her children and the support available to her as well after this.